For real? I don't know if we're live yet. I told it to go live. It's still thinking, I think.
It says on air on my screen.
Says on air. Fantastic. Hello. Welcome.
Doesn't on mine.
Oh yeah, it doesn't think I'm on air yet. That's okay. It'll get there. It'll catch up. Playtest Tuesday. We're so happy to be here. We are live. Thank you, Brendan. Welcome, everyone. Tuesday. We're so happy to be here. We are live. Thank you, Brendan. First one, I'm taking over from Rose and getting started 35 minutes late. Everything's going great. We are here today to test out Tin Star Games, The Score, which is created, designed, etc. by Steve D, who is, very excitingly, with us for the moment. He's going to give us a little bit of background on the game, and then we're going to get started and give it a run. So, Steve, feel free to take it away. Fuck, I'm going to change the stream name, and then you can take it away.
All right.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm really interested in trying to get more people to play role-playing games by exploring some of the things that stops people playing role-playing games, like the fact that they often require a great deal of investment, a lot of reading of the rules, a lot of pressure to create. You have to sign up for these enormous campaigns. So I'm in the middle of designing a bunch of card-based role-playing games that can all be played in under an hour without any kind of prep. And this was also submitted originally to, there's a company called Button Shy that makes 18 card games as their exclusive design thing. And they were looking for RPGs. So that's what this was originally designed for. And we're probably going to expand it to add just a couple more cards. And we're going to produce it ourselves because it was one of their, in their short list, but it didn't make it into their ones that their final three, I think it was. But it's a really exciting, different kind of role-playing game where the cards determine what the scene is about, who is the active sort of player doing things, and whether they succeed or fail, but they then explain what all that means. So that's going to be quite a different experience. But I'm going to throw it over to Nell to do the teaching and explain it all. And we might also have to, we're going to be using Roll20, but we might have to do something tricky with the cards so that it works. So I'll just note about that when we get back to, after we've made our characters and everything.
All right. So we are, of course, here to play The Score, which is a card-based game where we do a heist. We steal some shit. Steve, how do you feel about cursing on this air? I know we're taking some video for you.
Absolutely fine.
Fantastic. We're stealing some fucking shit together as a bunch of cool-ass criminals who we come up with, build together through the cards. We then build a heist together through the cards. We figure out what our setup is, what we're trying to do, who we are at the top of the game, all together from the cards. Which I'll probably just kind of explain as we go, I think, rather than try to teach it and then do it. I think it'll be easier to teach as we go. And then we're going to go ahead and play. This is a little bit Fiasco-esque almost, for anyone here who's played Fiasco, where it's some role-playing, some narration, working together to tell a story that's really interesting. Since there is no GM, the cards provide a lot of the plot and the twist and kind of the DMing. So there are 2 acts, essentially. There are 5 acts. There are 5 acts. 1, 3, and 5. Things are going great. Our con is going beautiful. Our heist is perfect. Everything is gorgeous. Acts 2 and Acts 4, things are not going so hot for us. And the cards tell us how that is. We have certain cards that have what's called a twist on them. Those go in the deck, and those kind of start off what's going wrong on those acts, on what's called off the rails, when things go badly. It might list one of the player's cool abilities. If it does so, that player shows us how the ability doesn't work or is prevented to. Or if it has an ability that one of us doesn't possess, it's about how the target of our heist has something really hard for us to overcome, and we struggle to overcome it together. When we reach the final card, it determines whether we succeed or fail. As I kind of mentioned very briefly, we each have abilities If the final card contains one of our abilities, we are successful. If it does not contain one of our abilities, we get a choice. The current player gets to choose whether the item slips through our fingers, our heist fails, we learn important morals about our own failings as human beings, or their character dies to make sure the heist succeeds. Big drama, big choices. We love it. The rules for this game are one concise, tight page. And I think we're just going to get started then building characters. The biggest thing I may need your help with, Steve, as we get started is figuring out just how to use those Roll20 cards. Because I have never used cards before in Roll20. So I'm going to start.
Well,
Go ahead.
So character generation is very, very simple. We just deal 12 cards out to the number of players we have. So in this case, you'll get 3 cards each. So if I'm going to if we just click on deal.
Okay. Oh, deal. Look. I see. Okay. Oh, let me delete the one that I accidentally dealt on its own. Look at that deal. Okay. So 12 cards.
Yep. So if you click on deal, but you don't want to deal, well, if you deal 3 cards to all players, it'll deal 3 to me as well, but that's okay. That won't matter.
Okay. I'm going to do it. Deal 3 cards to all players. You must deal cards to at least one
player. So every card.
That's what I want to do.
Oh, you have to put all players in the window.
Ah, I see.
And then don't click the tick below. You can choose all players as an option, and then turn off the tick. There we go.
Okay.
So everyone should have 3, and if you click on it, you should be able to see what your cards are, and you probably have to. They're face down. That's helpful. Oh, that's because I clicked on yours, not mine. Oh, it hasn't dealt me any. Good. Yeah, so if you click on someone else's... I didn't
put you in for the dealing. The dealing worked perfectly.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I was just wondering why I couldn't see them. Yeah, so if you click on someone else's, you'll just see the backs.
So everyone currently has 3 cards. This is going to be how we build our characters. The way we're going to do it is everybody is going to make a note of all 3 traits from the cards. Those traits represent who your character are and what your character does. When you look at those 3 traits, you want to come up with a name for your character and, decide a little bit of a backstory. Why do they have those traits? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's once I introduce myself, I'll start. I will go ahead. I will look at my traits. I will give you my character. And then I'm going to explain how I recruit the person to my left.
I'm so sorry. Is Nell echoing for anyone other than me?
I can hear it.
All right. Sorry, I'll figure it out.
I'm shouting, Allie. I'm so sorry. I'll talk quieter.
Oh, no. My whole thing's echoing. I have to figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Great. Do you have Twitch open and is your Twitch audio on?
I had it coming through Roll20 earlier, but it was my own voice.
Yeah, I think I fixed it all. Sorry about that.
Perfect. So I'm going to introduce my character and then explain why I'm recruiting the player to my left, which I'm just going to say is Jeff. Jeff will recruit Cecilia. Cecilia will recruit Allie. And once we've been recruited, which I'll just do it and we'll see how it'll work and then we will get to go. So let me just read mine real fast. So my skills are driving. I can drive planes, trains, automobiles, horses. My fun little quote here is fast first, furious later. I think I'm both fast and furious at the same time, but I like the quote. I am great at coercion. The art of making them lower their guard also includes seduction. This is officially my favorite game I've ever played. My quote here is also, honestly, the dress does most of the work. Wow, I'm delighted. And my final skill is demolition, blowing things up, on, or open, or off. I'm struggling with my reading comprehension. Also makes a great distraction. Technically, the doors are off. So based on those 3 skills, thank you, Steve, dropping in the chat. Driving, seduction, demolition. My character is known, alias-wise, as trying to come up with a pun on the Black Widow, but something about driving. instead of being black. We're gonna come up with it. But I am notorious for my heists, where I often serve as some sort of limousine driver in order to con very rich men, usually, who want a sexy limousine driver, into allowing me into their homes. And from there, robbing them all blind. The demolitions are just for fun. That's not usually for my job. That's what I do as a hobby. And one day I decide to go bigger. I decide to take on a bigger job. And I know I can't do it alone. So I look on Craigslist for some other criminals. And the first criminal I find on Craigslist is Jeff. Who is your character? What are your skills?
Yes, based on the rules of Pac-Man, I am to Nell's left. So I am going to draw a card if I can and roll 20. I clicked the one. Ooh, okay, I think I'm doing this right. Because the first one that shows up is the cooperation card that says, Sleight of Hand, the art of moving objects without being noticed. Fun quote is, no dummy, the queen was never on the table. Plans are blueprints. The next card is plane/train gear. Whatever you need, a fixer can get. You need an elephant in downtown Chicago at 3 a.m., African or Indian. Cars. Okay. And the third one is Warzone gunplay, the use of handheld projectile weapons for fun and profit. Wet work makes the team work. Technology. Okay, so this is somebody who's good at sleight of hand, acquiring very esoteric gear, and guns, handheld weapons. What kind of a person is this?
I love it.
Okay. I have to think very hard about this. This is a very eccentric individual who can acquire a 3 a.m. elephant and also shoots guns.
Why were you on Craigslist, my friend? That's where I found you.
Found me on Craigslist. On Craigslist is where you found Justin Jehoshaphat, and is a person who works out of one of those pawn shops. Is how they have access to such like really specific stuff, and has like really particular knowledge about really specific things because they need to be able to pinpoint value on weird things. A lot of guns come through there, so they have a lot of gun knowledge. And really good at moving stuff around without being detected, because some of the stuff that come through isn't exactly on the level in the pawn shop, so they need to be able to move it to one place to another without being detected necessarily by certain people. And so that's one of their hustles. I'd say that they came into this job. They're looking for somebody. They have a buddy that they call who has really specific knowledge about some of the stuff that they necessarily don't. If they need to know something really specific, they call this person. That is to my left, who I guess would be Cecilia.
And real fast, before we meet Cecilia's character, do me a favor, Jeff. Go ahead into your settings, personalization display, change your display name to your character's name.
Justin Jehoshaphat.
Justin Jehoshaphat. Beautiful. I'm going to be Leverate, who is it's the law for a widow who is to remarry her husband's brother really quickly right after her husband died in ancient society. So she's a fast-moving widow. So I will be Leverate. And Cecilia, go ahead and introduce.
I'm gonna come in and say, Jeff was reading out the top and bottom of the cards. Those are used to generate what we're going to heist and where we're going to heist it from. So you can just ignore those until the next bit.
Got it. Okay, that's what I was about to ask, actually. So perfect. Okay, so mine are hacking. If it has a chip, it can be hacked. The tagline is, if in doubt, type very fast. Then long con, going undercover long term, so you're inside the system. The tagline, they can't rely on their security if you're their head of security. And then disguise, something specific or just blending in. Anyone in a red jacket is a valet. And so my character's name is, well, yeah, I won't tell you their real name, but they go by Jeeves. So when there are people on the market that say, oh, just go ask Jeeves, and they find her, she is a hacker extraordinaire, obviously. She is she can be the household help in any different situation, or just the help in any situation, because she can sneak in, knows all the back doors to all the different houses. She's very plain looking, so she's not noticed at all whenever she walks through a room, kind of a thing. Let's go. She specifically took the name Jeeves because her family she's got a very tragic backstory with a very rich family in the area, that her father was killed by the head of this family or whatever. And so she started working at as their head of household from a very young age, telling them it's a different age. So she's been in that household for a very long time to try and get her revenge. And then she finds that while she's hacking through their system, she keeps seeing one name show up on a lot of different bank records that they're giving payments to this one person. And that'll be Allie's character.
Yeah.
Amazing, Cecilia. Take it away,
That's
Allie.
actually so exciting. That works so well with what I was thinking. I love it. All right, so I got fast talk, the ability to talk yourself out of anything and into anywhere. If you don't stop talking, they can't start thinking. I got contacts, whoever you need to know, you know them. Friends help you move. Real friends help you move bodies. And then I got machines, electrics, engines, pulleys, levers, anything with a blueprint or a circuit diagram. The hacker needs a computer, I need a screwdriver. And so I think my character's name is going to be Mercedes, because I come from a family that are car salesmen. And we help people smuggle things in cars to locations where they need to get them. And so it's where I get a lot of my fast talking, as that car salesman on the lot. And I've spent a lot of time fixing up the cars and opening them up so that we can hide things inside of them, but that they'll still run. And so I think it would make a lot of sense that that family you're looking at has been using my family's dealership to move things wherever they need them.
I love it. This is our weird little squad that we've put together for a job. Now, to figure out what our job is, we are going to take 2 cards. I'm just going to go ahead, drag and drop, and flip it over. How do I flip a card over? We're going to learn, guys. We're learning Roll20 all together. Flip card. There we go.
Yep.
We are stealing. Oh, interesting. The thing on the bottom line is what we're stealing. We are stealing stocks and bonds. I don't know how we're going to steal stocks and bonds. Are those physical? Who here knows anything about stocks and bonds? Are those physical, or are we
They can be either. They can be physical or digital.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
You can flip 2 cards here and take the top from one and the bottom from the other, and so on.
Okay. Because the top on the next one would be where we are stealing it from. So we are stealing stocks and bonds from a remote island. That is our heist. Let's just discuss it a bit, see if there's any more details. How did we find out about this? Is there anything extra suspicious we need to be aware of? Why do we want these stocks and bonds? Are we just trying to get rich? Anything along the lines of what do we need to know about this remote island? How did we find out about it? Why are we going there? What do we want these stocks and bonds for?
Well, don't plan too much ahead, because the cards will also dictate things. That's important.
Okay.
Definitely spitball some ideas and backstory, but you'll figure out how you're doing the heist once the heist begins, basically.
Yes. How we're doing it, yes.
So it's a skyscraper on a remote island?
No, we're taking the bottom of one and the top of the other. There can be, if you want there to be a skyscraper on this Roman island, Jeff.
That would be insane. So it's stocks and bonds on a remote island. I was just trying to picture, like, if it's like... No, Dubai's not an island. I don't know.
Dubai is not an island.
It's not an island. I don't know if it's like on a remote island, stocks and bonds. That sounds like a money laundering operation, right?
Yes, it sure does.
Absolutely.
So that would be like I don't know. Stocks are usually like digitally traded and things, so it's a good thing that we have a hacker on the team.
Yeah. Okay, so money laundering operation. I work for a lot of rich men. One of them at some point let slip that he does a lot of his personal money laundering through a very nice little vacation destination in the Bahamas. They deal in stocks and bonds. Guys, I'm a broke child. I don't know anything about stocks and bonds. This is going to be stupendous. They keep both paper and virtual copies on the island. If we steal them, are they ours? Like, can we get the money from them, or do we need to destroy them so that these people lose their money?
I think that you need to sell them stocks to like convert it into like a currency that we can use, and put it into like a Swiss bank account or something. I'm sounding really smart right now. I know how money works.
Yeah, I think we would have to somehow transfer ownership of them. So I don't know if just having the piece of paper is enough to be like, I own this, or if it's like a card deed where it like is actually signed on. But I bet we can just pick one and roll with it, because this is our fun fantasy world where we're doing a heist.
Hell yeah, it is. All right, yeah, so we're going to this wonderful little vacation island in the Bahamas to try to steal some stocks and bonds. That's pretty much all that we've got to figure out. I do need to figure out how to put these back in the deck.
So if you go to the deck and hit recall, it will bring all the cards back in.
Including the ones of our traits, which is okay, correct?
Yep.
Great. Okay, we are going to recall all the cards into the deck. Shuffle after recalling. Oh, we don't need to do that because we're going to shuffle in a moment. So the next thing we do is we stack our deck. We're going to take 4 cards, not look at them. I don't want to shuffle. I just want to take one. Oh, I guess I did want to shuffle. We're then going to rotate them upside down so that the twist is up on top. This is how we're going to know when we are switching acts and when stuff starts going bad or good again. I have 4 cards flipped and nope, that did not let me put it back.
I think when they go back, it'll magically turn them around the front so that they're all standing up again. But remember that they've been flipped. So what I've done is I've done this with a deck on my desk. So I'll tell you when the acts change, basically.
Okay. So are we going to turn any of the cards here, or do you want to flip the cards for us?
Yeah. Okay. I'll just deal the cards out.
Perfect.
And then I'll let you know what's going on. And yeah, just to be clear, so we start in Act 1, where everything's going our way, and in those scenes, if we get a card that represents one of the character's skills, then they get that card in front of them and they narrate how they are using that skill to step forward the heist. If a card comes up that is not someone's skill, it goes to the player who has the least amount of cards, and they describe forces that are arrayed against them that is preventing them from why we can't use that skill, why we didn't get someone on that team because we know we can't use that skill in the heist. So it's that kind of it's that kind of voice of, well, we can't come in with a disguise, although we have a disguise person, but it might be we can't break the safe open because they've got some special technology, and it's that kind of voice. And then those voices will switch when we get to Act 2 and things start to go off the rails. Okay. All clear?
All
Yeah.
clear. Let's do it.
All right. So I will shuffle one more time. And our first card is... I can't. I just have to flip it. All right. The long con. So that is Jeeves. So Jeeves is going to sort of tell us how they've already been installed somewhere in the target.
Okay. All right. So they. So the remote island is also used as a vacation spot for most of the like really wealthy families in this city that we're in. And so the family that I work for has already sent me ahead of them to get the house ready that they're going to stay at. So I'm already currently on the island, and and is it just me that's there, or have I been able to bring the other people?
You can sort of say whatever you want. Don't try to write other people's characters, obviously, but just talk until you think you're ready for the next step.
Okay. Yeah.
It could just.
So I've just been put there to help get the house ready. So I've been able to explore the island. I'm there a week early in order to make sure that the house smells exactly the way that the mistress of the house would like it to smell, which is orange blossoms mixed with 50% lemon and 20% lime. It's a very studied smell that Jeeves knows. And I think she's been in contact with helping to get the others in on this to make their way here. So I don't want to like write how you guys got here or anything. But
that's fine. Yeah, you can stop there. You're in place, ready to set things up.
You're mixing your orange blossoms, limes, and lemons.
Yep, I'm writing down the recipe right now.
Sleight of hand. So where is Justin?
Justin. Ooh, yeah, sleight of hand is me. Explain how I get to the island.
How are you using sleight of hand in this con?
Yep.
Oh,
whatever
okay.
is the next step in getting the con done. That can be how you come into the scene, like maybe you're walking through the airport, or maybe it's how you are doing something else to get past some sort of security on the island.
Oh boy. Okay. I say that I am there on the island on a cover because there is a very valuable statue that they have there that they want to get appraised sort of off the books. That's not it's going to be sold somewhere in like some sort of underground auction. They want to get an idea of how much it's worth on it. So that's my cover for being there. And then also I would be in charge naturally of smuggling it off the island as well. So this would be my reason for being there on the books / off the books, but also we're in the middle of this mission as well. We have this other a more primary reason for being present on the island.
Fantastic. All right. So still in our first act. Sometimes it doesn't want to flip. There we go. Okay, so signals is something we don't have, so we'll move to the next player around who hasn't got a card. So that'll be depending on which way you're going around the table. To left, it would be Mercedes. So why can't we control television, radio, anything like that on the island and use that to our advantage?
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Can someone read the card to me? I can't get my Roll20 to zoom in on it correctly. Oh, that's perfect. Great.
So this
So I think that, we're on a remote island. It's a very pretty place, but it also means that weather affects it a lot. And so I think that there was a big storm recently, and so most of the phone lines and the television lines and things are down. So, maybe other people won't be able to use them, but we can't really use those to our advantage for distractions or communicating with each other because all of that is currently disabled on the island.
All right. So our next card is in fact one of our twist cards, and we actually just put that aside and we don't flip those over. So that way the game is always random. Not everyone's power may come up and certain things are going to be missed. So now we're in Act 2, and now what happens is if one of our skills comes up, where it's that scene where, I was expecting to succeed with my skill, but for some reason it hasn't worked. They have a hacker that's better than me, or they've seen through my disguise. If it's a skill that we don't have, then it's something that the forces we're trying to hack against are using against us actively. So if it's gunplay, if it's martial arts, then they're coming out to beat us up or something. If it's what's another example that you don't have? If it's forgery, then they've all given you false criminal records or something, and so on. So let's find out what our next act is. So we all thought we were in place and being calm, but something has gone wrong, and it is forgery. So the person who doesn't have a card will be Leverett. So we'll go over to you.
All right. Our original plan was to get those paper stocks and get out of there. But we got in there, we took a look, and we found out that they actually do a complete count of all of their paper stocks every single evening. I was posing as a rich tourist who's just investigating to possibly put my bonds in. And so the obvious plan would be to simply create some new stocks and bonds to replace so that they count them, they think they have all of them, even though they're all missing because we have them all. But none of us know how to forge documents, and since the phone lines and all the cables are down, I'm quiet. That's unfortunate.
Speak up
that should be
now.
better. Since the phone lines are down, we can't call out to any of our other contacts who might be good at forging. We just don't know how to make fake stocks to replace them with.
Cool. Excellent. So our next card is Fast Talk. Okay, so that is Mercedes is trying to fast talk something, but it's not going to work, and it's going to end her up in big trouble.
Yeah. So I think that, we talked about, maybe it would be an option since we can't replace these documents with forgery. Maybe a better situation is to try to steal them and then just get out of here fast. And we can just leave real quick, and then we'll be gone before they realize that they haven't been counted. So to kind of try to test this, I go ahead and I start talking to the dock workers, and I just kind of try to charm them and convince them through talking that they're not, paid well enough, and really the guards, they should just leave because they don't get paid well enough, and honestly they deserve better. And they're not buying it. It doesn't work. They actually really like their jobs. They think I'm ridiculous, and it actually means that they're going to double up on really surveillance on the island because they're a little suspicious as to why I was so sure that they would hate their jobs.
Why were they suspicious? You're just a union leader, an aspiring minion union leader.
That's what I thought, but they didn't agree with me.
All right, so driving also not able to work, despite your plan to, or possibly fly out of the island.
Yeah. So we weren't able to get them to loosen up their security. We're really starting to run out of ideas. So I figure that maybe we need to postpone the heist. We're not ready. We gotta sail a boat on out of here, pick up a forger, bring him back, reevaluate now that we know the layout of the lands. So I hop onto our very sleek, sexy motorboat. Because everything I drive is sleek and sexy, obviously. I cannot believe this game told me that I'm a sexy character. It's the gift of the evening. and I rev the engine, and we take off, and we're bouncing over the waves, and there's a train of water spraying up behind us, and the smell of sea breeze and oranges that's still caught in Jeeves's hair on the wind, when all of a sudden an enormous lightning bolt strikes. Our boat is dead in the water, and we are now offshore of the island, just kind of floating in the middle of the waves as the storm is brewing.
That is excellent, because the next card is in fact a twist card. So the question then becomes, how was that actually working in your favor all along? As we go back into Act 3, as things start to go right again. So this takes us to Mercedes, who really wanted you to be marooned in the island. Marooned in the ocean.
Yeah, it's actually very exciting that we're all out here because it really just gives us a time to step away and reevaluate a little bit. And also, since I have the skills of the mechanic, I can fix the boat. But while I go ahead and I start kind of tinkering with things, I realize that there is in fact a secret compartment inside this boat, and things have been hidden in it. So we can both get the boat working, and we can head back to the island with some more resources. And I think, do you guys want me to come up with what it is, or do you want me to let the next person come up with what's in the boat? What do we want, team?
What, to be able to fix it?
No,
so
she can fix it.
I fixed the boat, but in fixing the boat, I found a secret compartment in the boat that was hiding something that's going to be very helpful for us.
I think you come up with that. Let's see what it is.
Yeah.
What is it?
What is it? I gotta come up with it. I think the thing that is in the boat that's going to be very helpful for us is it actually is, since we don't have a forger, someone has left bond papers in here, and they're for much less than the bonds we're trying to steal. So we can, in fact, it'll be a little bit of a loss of money, but we're going to gain so much more. So we can put these bonds in, and it'll fill the stack, so we'll have the same number. It's just for significantly less money, so we're still making more money at the end of the day.
Fantastic. All right. So back to the island with amazingly useful bonds, and demolitions is going to be important.
So we're approaching the house. We're all walking in stride, and we see that doubled up security that Mercedes encountered earlier on their patrols circling the island. And we realize that in order to get in there, now that we have our fake bonds to make the swap, we're going to need to distract that security. And what better way on a beautiful vacation island in the Bahamas to distract the security than set off the most beautiful display of fireworks they have ever seen. No one knows where I get them out of my very sleek, tiny dress, but I always have fireworks on hand. So I scale to the top of a nearby little bungalow and start setting off fireworks. They're exploding over the ocean in showers of colors and light, and all the guards are drifting away, not paying any attention, watching this beautiful display.
Very nice. Allowing you easy entrance in, but unfortunately, somehow they were seeing that coming, so this is another twist. We go into Act 4, so once again, things are not going your way. And that brings us to, whoops, now I'm running out of space. It's not letting me post. Let me just post these things up here. This start of Act 4 is, thank you. Oh, where did that go? It's flipping. Martial arts. Right. I think you're about to get your ass kicked. So who's the least number? Who's next in the order?
Whose card is that?
We haven't heard
none of
from
you have that.
Jeeves or Justin for a moment.
Yeah,
Put us in martial arts.
Who wants to get their ass kicked?
Your distraction works. You're heading into the building, but somebody spots you, and presumably is physically taking you down.
I'll fight. Okay, so yeah, they're watching the fireworks display. We're trying to sneak by, playing the Scooby-Doo music, where we are all on our tiptoes trying to tiptoe by them. Then one of them shouts, "Hey, over there!" And they all just come running. I shout, "Save yourselves!" And I stand there while the rest of them can run off. Or at least they try to run off. And Jeeves, I don't know why they would have this confidence, but they're like, "Yeah, I can go up against you." And they're like, "No, you're not going up against me. You're going up against him." And then like a super scary person would walk up, and Jeeves just gets her ass handed to her. Yeah.
A good butler is ready to get their ass handed to you. Now this is so your contacts. You thought you might help you, but not in this situation. So contacts is
That'd be me.
So is it me 'cause it's my trait?
Yeah. So that goes.
Oh,
to
it's your
the same-
trait.
Yeah.
But I think that was
Your
mine.
gear. You can get
I'm-
gear.
Oh, I'm people
She gets
contact or
people.
stuff contact. Yeah.
Yeah, you get people, I get things.
So
Yeah. So I think what happened is that maybe there were a couple of people that are also here on the island that I had as contacts who are really going to help us with this switch off and with this handoff. But what I did not realize is that we sneak past as you're getting beat up. They come into the room. They sneak also. They're ready to help us out. And then I pass them those bonds we found on the boat and explain the plan that we're going to do a handoff. And it turns out it was their bonds that were being hidden in the ship. So we're trying to give away their bonds in order to get the other ones. And they're not too thrilled about that. So
Brilliant.
they start shouting at us and making a ruckus. And while we had a beautiful distraction before, really not so much anymore.
Yeah, you are stealing your allies' bonds, and disguise fails. So that's Jeeves.
Oh no.
So maybe they hauled you away and then discovered that who you really were.
Yeah. I'd been wearing she's like full in. So she had fake fingertips on top of her fingers. She put on a wig every single day. And so during the fight the wig comes off. And they're
Not the
like,
wig.
"Wait a minute, you look like this wanted poster for this person or something," and then they haul her in, and they find that she's got the fake fingertips, and so they fingertip her and find out that she is actually Marge Smith, not her true identity.
But maybe that's what you wanted all along, because we get another twist at this point and we go into Act 5. So maybe that was what you wanted, and let's find out. The next thing that happens is stealth. Okay, so nobody has stealth, so you can't use. So we just go to who hasn't had a turn for a while, which I think is probably
Probably our boy Justin.
Levired. Yeah, one of Levired or Justin. Yeah. Normally we would be dealing these out to you on the table so you could see. So stealth, you can't use stealth, but things are still going your way. So you're just going to rule out why you can't use stealth.
Okay, so we're trying to come up with like things are going our way. We're not. So reason that we don't need stealth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so as it turns out, when the rest of us made it into the building, there was a power outage that caused the security cameras to go down momentarily. So we had like this brief window that we're able to like sneak past the entrance area, the lobby of the building that we're going into.
But there was the lightning strike before.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it was the lightning hit the power outlets and caused a momentary system down.
Nice. And now the hacking can begin.
So they found out her identity, or her identity. And they leave her in the room for a minute. And silly people. They leave her in the room with a cell phone. And she's so good at hacking that she's able to take their cell phone and hack into what is she gonna hack into? just the security, the security system. So she's able to keep tabs on all the cameras and make it so that the cameras never pick up her crew, and also that for some reason the guards just can't seem to get through the doors. They're like, wow, I just got this ID badge. Why is this ID badge not working on this door? It's because she changed the password for like just a little bit longer so that the rest of her team can get through.
Fantastic. So all the guards are locked out and you're inside with all the security. This is our last card. Let's find out if you can succeed at your heist. Done, player. Nice.
Ooh.
That's you, Justin.
Justin.
Okay, what's the scenario that we just set up that we got past the main security, so we're like more into the core of the building now?
Yeah, Jeeves is in jail. The three of us are in the building with the bonds.
With the bonds.
And Jeeves has basically countermanded all the security for you.
Okay, so what do we need guns for? And going out, breaking out, we need maybe the security by this point, like the cameras and all to come back on, the security come back in, so we need more of a grandiose exit at this point. Nice. It requires like more of a like a physical altercation. So we go out guns a-blazing with this. Justin's got his heavy artillery ready to bust out of the building with these bonds back through the way that we came, because that's the only way that we know. Coming through, way in, way out. Though it's heavily armed now, so we're just gonna go shooting. We're gonna get this stuff smuggled out.
We get a extra good, the one that beat you up, Cecilia. We get him really good for you.
Nice. Shooting your way out.
Yeah.
You bust Jeeves out of their cell and speed off in your motorboat back to
the sexy motorboat.
Yes, back to US soil with your heist. Your goods in hand. And that's the end of the story. That's the end of the game.
Woo!
That's fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was very cool, very fast, super easy to learn. Yeah, so usually, Steve, what we do is we hop over to the Discord after this and hang out, talk about the game. Anyone who watched hops in, chats with us about what they saw. You're welcome to come and chat with us or say, thanks, have a good night, and go fuck off to your own evening.
It's midday here, so I'll definitely join in. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Great. Then, guys, this was a short one, but a super, super fun one. Thanks to everyone who is here watching. We will be in the Discord, in the Game Time channel to chat about this game and then anything else that we feel like chatting about this evening. Thanks for bearing with some technical difficulties in the late start to watch this super fun little heist story we came up with. And we will see you all over in the Oh, wait, shoot, hang on, plugs. We also never introduced ourselves. Oh, guys, what am I doing? Have I ever run a stream before? We're going to go around, share your name, share your pronouns. If you have any plugs, whether that's for a Quelmar thing or Steve, for anything else you're working on, I'm Nell. I was your bossy, not a DM, but I was your bossy stream host. I use they, them pronouns. Catch Strahd whenever we come back. I don't know when it'll be. Catch Metagame on Thursday. Go ahead, Allie.
Hi, Allie, she, her. Metagame on Thursday, very exciting. And everyone should look into this game. This was a blast. I loved it.
Cecilia.
Hi, my name's Cecilia. She, her pronouns. Check out this game. I don't really have
Also, Metagame on Thursday with Cecilia.
Watch Metagame on Thursday. Jeff.
Oh no! Hi, my name is Jeff. I use he/they pronouns, and I reiterate the watch the live streams of Strahd and Metagame. They're excellent, and I'm always in the chat for them talking shit. Also, play Pac-Man. It's an awesome game on the GameCube or something. No, and this game was very, very fun. Thank you for letting me participate.
And Steve, please take a moment and actually introduce yourself and talk about any other games you've worked on, your work in general, anything else we should check out.
Yeah, so I'm Steve D. My company's called Tin Star Games, and we have a website at tinstargames.com. last year we launched Partners, which is a 2-player role-playing game, which is all about solving mysteries as a detective pair. Again, that kind of uses this kind of random generation to spur story on. So if you like this one, that one's on sale. And we're hoping to take this to Kickstarter hopefully later this year. But yeah, Tinstar Games has all our games on it, and also tinstargames.itch.io. You can pick up all our PDFs of everything there as well. So, and we're Tinstar Games all over the social medias as well. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Follow all their socials. Please shoot us over a link when you all start doing Kickstarter. We will share that shit around. I just dropped the website in the chat, so everyone check it out.
Fantastic.
Steve, thank you so much for being here, for bringing this super fun little game with us. Players, how do we close out these streams?
Keep rolling the dice. Woo!
Thank you, Allie.
Turn the cards.
Oh, yeah,
Keep flipping the cards.
Keep flipping the cards.